Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Reset to Healthier Relationships, Sunday nights at 9. I am your host, Coach Glenda, here with Mr. Rufus Carpenter, our course manager. We have another awesome topic tonight, and I'm not even going to tell you what the topic is because I want to get through our introductions. So as always, as stated, this is a format that we created to talk about past and present relationship topics. This is not a one-size-fits-all open discussion. So what may pertain to one may not pertain to the other. And there's no topic too minor or too big that we cannot discuss. We encourage everyone to participate and speak their truth. This is a non-judgmental zone, so don't feel as if you say anything that someone is, looking down on you or talking about you. Please, this is an open forum for you to talk as much or as little as you would like. And I'm going to let Mr. Carpenter introduce himself before we get started with tonight's topic.
Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be here tonight. I want to thank you for showing up. I look at all the faces out there. You guys are awesome. You guys have really made this thing come alive. You've been with us from the very beginning. We've been doing this now for several months. So all of us at home, and you are the founding members because we haven't opened it up to the general public yet. Not this week, but the week after next, we're gonna open it up to the general public. So everybody will be able to come on board. But you are the founding members, and because of that, we're so proud to be associated with you and have you as our partners in building this thing. This is a Glenda's Get It and Go LLC production. I'm just happy to be a part of this. Glenda has really come on board to help the community out because nowhere else in the community are you getting this kind of information where men and women can have frank conversations about any relationship issues they have and get answers. And we don't give pre-flighted questions. Our question and answers are straight off the cuff. Glenda has more of the street version. I have the studied version, and then you, the audience, have what's in your heart and what's on your mind. The framework is where you have 20 of your girlfriends in the living room, and you're sitting back. You might have a cup of wine or tea or whatever you prefer to drink, and you're really letting it out. You're really saying and putting out your truth. Once again, my name is Rufus Carpenter. I come to this a little different than most. My background is that I came from a large family that lived in a three-bedroom house with 14 kids and 2 adults, 16 people sharing one bathroom. I had the privilege of sleeping with 4 of my siblings, and one was occasional bedwetter. So I got to learn a thing about the human connection right quick. Married 27 years. So with that, I understand communication. I understand compromise. I understand trust, fidelity, a lot of stuff that you had to go through. If you're married 27 years, trust me, you learn a lot of things about what it takes to be in a relationship long term. My journey didn't stop there. I was a member of the United States Army where I served as a human relation, race relation NCO leader, where if something, any type of relationship issues within my unit, I was the first on the scene to do what's called an intake form, and I had to address the issue and see what level of authority would have to answer that issue. So my background in relationship is very diverse. I'm here tonight to represent the male side of the conversation, and because of that, my background, I think I'm more than qualified. Tonight is a good subject. Oh man, I'm not going to tell you the topic because that's Glenda's responsibility, not mine. But tonight we could almost give this 3 or 4 different titles because the information is so diverse. She's going to say something that we all know a lot about, and this is your chance to really, really say what you know and let us know what you feel. Glenda, back over to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Carpenter. I see that Sharon's trying to get in.
I'll take care of her. I get her.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
It says joining. Okay, ladies, tonight's topic is somebody please tell me, why is he in my life? Now, because I think we have another gentleman on the phone. on the call tonight. Why is she in my life? So we are going to talk about why the particular person, your significant other, why are they there? Are you finding yourself holding on a little bit longer than what you're supposed to, when you know you need to let go? But we're going to dive deep into this relationship that no longer serves you and figure out why we might be still holding on. Our aim is to empower Black women and men, Black women and men, married and unmarried, to seek healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Let's break free from patterns that keep us stuck and explore how to reclaim our joy and peace. And I would also want to include your peace of mind, because I tell you, you have to protect that at all costs. So when you think about why is he or she in my life, what comes to mind? Does anyone want to just, tell me the first thing that comes to mind when you think about that topic before we get into the actual points of tonight's discussion?
Andre says fear. I guess
Okay.
the fear of loss. That's why he or she's in his life, because of fear of loss. And
He
that's a
says the
valid
fear of
fear.
loss because the message just say fear. He doesn't say the fear of loss.
I don't think he gonna get beat up by letting them go. So,
Okay. Anybody else?
Andre's a
Okay,
pretty big boy.
okay. So you and him are on the same page. He did co-sign on what you said.
He's a
Anybody
pretty
else?
big boy. I don't think too many people gonna beat him up.
I remember you said you got punched in the
Big
alley.
fear of being alone.
Okay. Excellent. Those are two of the most biggest reasons why people, keep people that they know that doesn't serve them. They continue to keep them in their lives. So the first point for tonight is identifying.
Wait. Back up. There's a whole bunch left.
Well, I just asked for a couple before we dive deep into it.
Okay, all right, because somebody say self-doubt. Somebody just said in chat.
All right. Well, that's true.
Okay.
Now, when you say self-doubt, Holland, what are you referring to? Can you explain a little bit about that? Are you on mute?
Let's see, Holland. Yeah, she's muted. Unmute Holland and answer.
I guess regrets of past mistakes and then wanting to do better. So even if there's problems, feeling like you can fix them and keep going.
Okay. And Andre,
I would say something. I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
Good
go
evening.
ahead.
This is Annette. I would say the term that everybody knows, the term for better or for worse. And so they feel like, they just got to deal with it.
But
Yeah.
when you think about unmarried couples,
Well, the unmarried couples still think on that same terminology too.
okay.
I agree.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. I know that we're unmarried and it's still a whole family atmosphere in our house. So it's him, me, our child, and the future goal of marriage, but it's still that foundation of for better or worse till death do us part.
Hey,
Okay.
Holland, you sound like you can feedback. If you and if someone else is on a different line than yours, can you guys separate a little bit so you don't get the feedback? All right, thanks. One be on mute while the others talk. Got it. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But since I'm there, and also self-doubt is sometimes you realize sometimes people think they don't add up. They're in over their head. The person they have is a lot maybe a step above them, so they don't want to let go because they feel they may not get that again. Am I right with anybody noticed that before? Or I'm just throwing
No,
dots.
I mean, you could be. That you're speaking your truth. I mean,
Okay.
It is. Sometimes in that self-doubt, there's a feeling of inadequacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I guess fear comes into play there, and then a factor in some situations, trying to help the other through their challenges and trying to fix problems, and it's just not able to, or you're not the right person to fix that problem.
That makes sense. You got any more feedback, Mr. Carpenter?
I'm good. Andre said a good part of the conversation is that requires people to address their fears.
That's true, but a lot of people don't, and it takes them a long time to address that. They'll be in a relationship 5, 10, 15, 20 years before they really absolutely low self-esteem, but we need to get rid of that. Because there's somebody out there for everybody that with that low self-esteem, there's somebody out there for everybody. Trust me, dark skin, skinny, you pleasantly plump. I don't believe that. When I was 300 pounds, I had a man, I had a boyfriend. I mean, boy, 2 separate times, just in case. And then when I lost over 150 pounds, I still had a man. So it's somebody out there for everybody. Trust me. So, right, I do understand the fear, the self-doubt, and the low self-esteem. I get all of that. But in the process, you do have to recognize your self-worth too, because you don't need to settle for garbage when you deserve to have something, brand new and something that is fully loaded. I know that when I go buy a car, I look for the basic model because I really don't feel like I'll be able to afford the fully loaded model. And so when I bought my second car, it was right in the middle. I said, ooh, gotta take baby steps. I can't just jump over there and get the fully loaded, because what if I can't afford to get it fixed? So, don't sell yourself short in your relationship. If you feel like you deserve the best, go for it. And I really strongly encourage men and women to do that, because at the end of the day, you're going to be very disappointed in your results after 5, 10, 15 years pass on. But we're going to move along. If no one has any other concerns or questions or additional feedback, we're going to keep it moving. All right. So we're going to identify the purpose of relationships. Sometimes people come into our lives for different reasons. Absolutely true. Growth lessons, or maybe to push us to see our own worth. How can we identify the purpose someone serves and know when their time is up? I have this little philosophy that I live by. Everybody is not meant to be dated. You can't date everybody that you come in contact. Just because you and him or you and her click as friends doesn't mean that y'all need to sleep together or that y'all need to date. Because sometimes when you cross the line, you destroy the relationship totally. So, does anyone have any feedback on that key point? Do you disagree with me this evening?
Sometimes you never know until you try.
You're the type of person that I know what type of person you are, Mr. Carpenter. You know that commercial, how many licks does it take to get to a center of a Tootsie Roll Pop?
I haven't found out yet.
I know you have.
I'm just having fun. This is
Absolutely.
just fun.
Absolutely. But sometimes we don't have enough energy and time to do all that licking to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll. We bite it by the third lick.
I started to say something, but
No, don't.
Put my head down.
We live. We're live. Okay, we're gonna move right along to the second key point. Okay, recognize the signs of a relationship that no longer serves you. Are you feeling drained, unappreciated, or stagnant? You feel like you're not going upward, you're not moving forward or backwards, you're just staying right in neutral. You're not making any progress in your relationship. These might be signs that, oh, I lost my point. I'm so sorry.
These are signs that the relationship has run its course.
Right, the relationship is no longer nourishing you.
Right.
Let's discuss how we can recognize these signs and act on them. So I know that I was previously in a relationship and we wasn't moving forward, we wasn't moving backwards. So after a certain amount of time, you know me, deuces, I tap out. I just really can't take it anymore because it's like you're not bringing any value or worth to my life with this relationship. So it's time for us to part ways. Wasn't nothing bad. It wasn't nothing, nobody's feelings were hurt. It was just that he realized that he wasn't what I needed, and I realized he wasn't what I needed, and we moved on. So anyone have any feedback on that? Have you been in a stagnant relationship where you felt like you wasn't going anywhere, or you felt unappreciated or drained in your relationship?
Andre, comment on that fear, because this fear came up twice. You said that same thing twice in a different way. Explain, Andre.
Well, I think, and I'm just saying this because I listen to a lot of people I guess when they're going through, trying to stick it out. Sometimes people, they know that their relationship is over. They know that it's not serving them. But like the person said earlier, there may be self-doubt that they might be alone, especially when you get to a certain age. There might be some self-doubt that if they let him or her go, when is the next bus gonna come? And so they'll try to stick it out, even though they know that it's done. Even though they know that, but they don't have the courage or know how to walk away. Kind of like a person who's in an abusive relationship. They know it's wrong, but they don't have the courage to let go.
Right.
So is it easier to start a relationship than it is to end one, or it's easier to end it than it is to start it?
It depends on the individuals.
Give me more than that.
It does. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think that it's easier to jump into a relationship and it's harder to jump out. But I still go back to say that it depends on the individual, because if one person really don't care, it's gonna be like, deuces, tap out. I mean, that person is free.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Hey, what's up, Pops? It's I think it's the intentions of the person, the intentions of what you're trying to do. I mean, because some people, hey, it's good to start, especially when it look good, and then when it comes to the end, well, is it going to benefit me? Especially, I've noticed this with women. No, if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong, but there's sometimes when certain men are stepping stones for a woman, because a woman always has options.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Explain more about that stepping stone, because that's interesting.
I think you're the one who told me about it.
Yeah, but explain it. I want you to talk, not me talk. Now, some of the things we stay at home need to stay at home. Stay at home. Son need to stay
Called you out. Called you out. I thought my sister was bad.
Yeah. Okay, what are you saying? Because a lot of times me and my son, we talk about relationships, because a lot of times we sit down and you get to talk about it, because you learn by going through things. And also in a relationship, sometimes you need help from your family, friends, or sometimes you need help from some professional people, because relationships will take you through some things.
It will. And
I think what he's saying, women sometimes, he's saying that stepping stone, well, I think the other Felicia, not Felicia's on the night, but the other Felicia somebody said placeholders. Sometimes you're your placeholder until the person can get to where they want to be with the next one.
Right.
And that's what it is. That's what he's explaining that is what he's saying.
And he got that from you, Mr. Carpenter.
Well, he got it from life.
Go ahead and cover it up real quick.
A hard way messing with Mr. Carpenter. I love you, Pops.
I love you too, son.
Told all your business. Okay, I mean,
That have an element of usury. That's like using somebody. Be bold.
Who's speaking so we know who's
I think
speaking?
it's Angela. It sounds like Angela.
Yes, it's me.
Explain that, Angela, more. Because we missed you last week, Angela, by the way.
You're using somebody as a placeholder until you get to your next. I mean, that's usual. And you can't, that's gonna come back to haunt you.
I'm not gonna clown nobody. Hey, check this out. It's one thing to get used. Everybody gets used. But when you start to get abused, that's when you need to go, hey, there's a problem here. I need to step up and do something better for myself. And that's something I learned from a granny.
Yeah, be bold and just go ahead and do it. Why stay there and use the other person until you get enough courage or somebody come along and you go with the next train? Just step on out there
Right. It's true.
and don't use the other person. Don't get the reputation of using.
Right.
That makes sense? I mean, because that's what it sounds like
It is.
when you're saying that that's what's being done. You gotta, even in a relationship and you're trying to exit, treat the person like you want to be treated. Because who knows, your next beau, whoever it is, they might get tired of you and ready to move on. And then you're gonna get to feel what that felt like.
I'm thinking now that COVID and so many people leaving this earth and transitioning out so fast now, you never know when your time is up, when your spouse or your lover or your partner or your family member time is up. That now I think we need to slow down a little and we need to look at the value and the quality of relationships now. Because you never know now when a person go. You can see you can kiss him or her in the morning before they go to work, and they may not make it home, or you may not make it home. So right now it's life now is so fragile now. You know, I've been over the last 2 months, I've been about like 6 or 7 funerals. Never ever had I in my life been to that many funerals in that short period of time. So right now, the quality of life, the quality of relationships, and the quality of connection, it's time to slow down and evaluate what you're doing with people and what people are doing in your life. So go ahead, Glenn. I'm sorry. I just need to share that.
Well, no, that's true. You made a very valid point when you made that comment.
You know, this is in that sometimes in relationships it become abusive where you might want to get out or a person want to get out, but they can't. They go through abuse from the other person or there's not an easy exit. So sometimes it's hard they might know the relationship is at a point where they need to part ways, but they can't because they fear brutality or something could happen. Or if another person might say, oh, hey, if it's not going to be me, it's not going to be nobody. They might try to take you out. Sometimes you have to figure out or find a way that's best to end when you want to end a relationship. So I don't know. That's it.
That's true. There are relationships like that. But in this day and time, I feel like you gotta be bold. You gotta get the authorities involved. And now they've come up with the fact that if you take out a police report or whatever of an abuser, they don't, you know how people would drop it before they go to court? They don't allow you to do that now because of the fact the abuser was going back and making good on his call, you know, afterwards, killing the other individual.
Hey,
I feel like if you're in an abusive relationship, you gotta get the courage and the boldness. You know what? I've got to get the authorities involved because nobody should make us live under fear. Nobody.
Right.
Nobody. We shouldn't give that power and authority over our life like that to no one. Not this day and time. It's been going on in years past, but we're in a new day. And we got a new generation of the Gen X and all that. They ain't taking that stuff.
Right.
Somebody was going to say something when Angela was talking. Who was that? Want to comment on it? Okay.
again, Pops.
Go ahead.
It's mental health. Like it's almost like Stockholm syndrome, to where you get abused and you start to love your attacker, or you feel inadequate to where that's what you're accepted, and that's what's meant for you. it's a mental health issue crisis when you get put in a situation where you're being abused and you don't leave. But at one point, like I told you, even house N-words have a limit, and you hit rock bottom, and then you hit growth, and you start to move on to bigger and better things. Hopefully, you do that before you end up being killed, and that's real.
Correct. Correct.
It is real. And that's why you don't need to be in it alone. You need to let somebody know. The authorities, don't go it alone.
And that's one reason why we have the Sunday night at 9, because give you knowledge, you realize you don't have to take a lot of stuff that you take. Because one of the first reasons and one of the first decisions we made were we're going to be a voice for the people that can't speak, because a lot of people didn't know they could get out of relationships. Right. They thought once they signed up or once they attached themselves to someone, they felt they were stuck. They felt, hey, you my boo, you my woman, you my man, you ain't going nowhere. Hey, take them shoes and hey, sit there in that chair and take it. You ain't going nowhere. And that remind me, because a lot of times, in a lot of days, people misunderstand respect, because that's one of the biggest things men have. A man want to be respected where a woman wants to be loved. Because a lot of times people will say, hey, you call it respect. Need to get thick skin and deal with it. But a lot of times when a woman treats a man a certain way and don't respect that man, that does something to him. A lot of times when a man is not being respected, the lady can't understand it. Why? You were disrespected. What did I do? To them, to a lot of times they can't see it or can't understand it, or they tell you need to get thicker skin, or why does that make you feel that way? Everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. I got two heads. Help me out.
That's true. Men wants to be respected. But if you are in a relationship and if you can't respect that man, then it's time for you don't need to be with him. Then you don't need to be stagnant or stuck. You need to make an exit, because not just a man, but we need to respect even one another. But a man do want to be respected, and when he's not, he can become violent.
True.
Yeah, because one of our examples that we're going to talk about, we'll talk about now. One of our examples tonight is that let's say, for instance, you were married for 5 years, and you were in a marriage, and you're the woman in the marriage, and you start losing your self-esteem because your husband start not evaluating you, or stop valuing you in the relationship. He doesn't see you as who you once were in his life, and he start not doing the little things he normally did. He start taking you for granted, and you said, "Wow, man, what happened?" So your self-esteem slips because you're saying, "I'm not important to this guy. He don't value me no more." So that's the same way there. That's the same way where that woman wants to be loved, and when that man stops showing that love and stop expressing that love to that lady in that 5-year marriage, she feels like she's being cheated. She feels like she's missing something. And that's the same thing about a man being respected. It says when a man is not respected or not being loved or not getting the intimacy in a relationship, he gets mad, or he gets angry. And when a woman's not getting that intimacy in a relationship, she gets discouraged and a little depression. And that's what this is about. When somebody used to say, the things that took you to get me are the same.
Right.
That's true stuff. That's true stuff. So when a person can no longer show value, or no person values you in a relationship, it's time to say, hey, let's sit down and start some serious communication, because something's wrong. We're going down a path we may not be able to come back from. Because the same energy you use going out in the street to find somebody new, if you put that energy in your own home, your own family, your own loved one, your own partner, you can re-energize love right where you're at. A person told me one time ago they says, when you try to go look for grass that's greener on the other side or somewhere else, tip out the house to find greener grass. They told me that grass green is green where you fertilize it, put stuff in it, and work it. If you work and fertilize your grass at home, it'll be green. But if you mistreat your grass at home and don't fertilize, don't water it, don't tend to it, it gets brown and dry and burn and die.
You get some weeds.
Yes. 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 So you have to realize the energy you take to go find somebody new, take the energy in your own family, your own house, and re-energize what's there for you. All right, Glenda, I'm sorry. I chased some rabbits. Let's come back.
Oh, you did. You did a good job. Okay. Why do we stay? Now, we already talked about fear of loneliness, and then we have societal pressure and the lack of self-worth. Those are, societal pressure is in addition to what was already stated at the very beginning. There are many reasons why we might hold on to something that isn't good for us. Let us be real about what keeps us stuck and how we can break free.
It's cheaper to keep her.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. I mean, when you think of the length of time that you've been with the person,
it's cheaper to keep her.
But when you're in a unmarried situation, it should be easy to break ties.
I don't know. I'm from the song days.
Yeah, I noticed that about you too. You old school big time.
Hey, when the skeletons come out at night and chase you all around the room.
But if your peace is disturbed and you don't have no peace as a result of that relationship in the home or whatever the relationship itself, then it's time to make an exit, because see, peace is very costly, and peace has been given unto us, and we have to guard our peace. And if this relationship have me so off kilter that
No, I tell him personally. You personally invited me. I'm personally.
Wait, hold up. Somebody's talking across you. Let Angela finish, and if you want to, you can come after her. You can. Go ahead, Angela.
I'm saying peace is, has been given unto us. We have to guard it. And if there's never any peace in the relationship, it's time to make a move, not to stay stagnant or stuck. But you got to guard the peace. Peace of mind.
Yeah, you got to reclaim your peace and joy in relationship. How do you break those patterns? If you realize your peace is important, how do you break those patterns when the person disturbs your peace? Glenda talked about the signs earlier. Now she said, why do you stay? If you don't have any peace at home, why do you stay? Why?
If you've tried everything, of course, communication is the big key, and respect. Respect, and then self-examination. Whereas you don't let your self-esteem get beat down. You got to know who you are, and you got to stand in that truth.
I was looking at TV the other night, and this was one of these old, I think it was when Stella Got Her Groove Back or something like that, the movie and this one lady, I think Whitney Houston, whatever person she played in that movie. And this guy was trying to talk to her. He was a married guy, and she wanted to drop the guy. And her mother, Whitney Houston's mother in that story, was saying, hey, look, this guy's a good guy. Come on, don't let him go. You're losing him. And then Whitney Houston's character told him, so look, if you love him that much and think that much about him, why don't you marry him? And why don't you keep him instead of me? And I forgot, I think the movie was, anybody seen that movie? I think it was Back.
No,
it was one scene in there. It
was the one with
Waiting to Exhale.
Yeah, Waiting to Exhale. That's it.
Okay.
That was the movie.
Waiting to Exhale. That's it.
That was the movie, yes, and that was a perfect line in there when she was saying when the guy was a bad guy, he wasn't good at all. But Whitney Houston's mother in that, well, the lady that played her mother in that scene wanted her to stay with him because she thought this guy was a good man. Because apparently the older woman, Whitney Houston's mother in the scene, had been abused by men, and she felt she had to have a man. So she felt her daughter had to have a man. So she was trying to instill the same thing she went through in her age through her daughter. Her daughter said, heck with this mess. I'm new. I don't need him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like sex is overrated.
Oh, you can say that again.
Wait a minute. Stop the madness. Stop the madness.
What you talking about?
And stop the madness. Everything God made
about?
was good.
I didn't say that it wasn't good. I didn't say that.
He said overrated. You missed the whole comment.
Hold up, wait a minute.
Somebody
I might be outnumbered on this line, but we can't
Next
let that kind of stuff
topic,
go on.
It is overrated because it's actually intimacy will destroy your relationship quicker than anything else.
And intimacy will build it up quicker than anything else. I see people shaking heads.
If you say so. It depends on what your priorities are.
I'm not disagreeing with that. It can build it up. Yep.
That needs to be another topic for another show. Are we good?
Trust me, you'll find a way to create some points from that. Trust me, I know that.
Oh man, I'm just telling you, hey.
You said yes, another topic.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with a little. Go ahead, Glenda. I'm having fun, you guys. I enjoy Sunday Night Nine because I come in. I bet you do. I just enjoy it. So I'm sorry. Sometimes I step out of character and have fun. So bear with me. Go ahead.
No, you don't have to apologize for being yourself.
Go ahead. Okay. Where are we at with this thing, Glenda? Where are we at?
I don't know. I done lost myself after that comment you just made. I'm like,
I know where we are. The reason why people stay in unfulfilled relationships, and a lot of time it's culture. Some cultures feel that no matter what it is, if you're a husband and wife or a team together, you're supposed to stay together. There's no getting out. Especially our Black culture used to be that husband and wife stayed together regardless. The guy cheated or whatever, they stayed together. They went home and shut the door and figured it out. So a lot of times society and culture and family won't let you separate or want you to break up. Who said you like that? You what? You like what?
Get out the chat. I'm man in the chat. You get out the chat.
I'm sorry. but yeah, sometimes the culture and our family pressure don't want you to let go.
Yeah.
But that was yesteryears. You think that's happening today?
No.
I think one of the first things Glenda, when she told her story, when she told her inspiring story and got this started, was one of the things where her grandmother was your grandmother that didn't want you to let go, Glenda. See, I remember your story very well.
Yeah, you remember too much. She said, you might as well go ahead and marry him. He's not gonna let no one else take care of you and that baby. And I, just like a young, dumb teenager, I got married young, had babies young, and divorced young. Because he was not the one, but that was from her way of life and how she thought. You know, if you have a baby by him, oh, you might as well go ahead and tie the knot and make it official. But that wasn't good advice at the time, even though I love my grandma, God rest her soul. But at the end of the day, it really backfired. But I will say I gained a lot of knowledge and, you know, a lot of lessons learned and experience from it, but I wouldn't wish none of it on my worst enemy.
Right, that's just like you wouldn't tell your son or daughter because they've got a child out of wedlock. You need to make. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Absolutely.
Right, you know, that's called put the cart before the horse, but no, you
Right.
don't get them, you wait and you see if this is, you know, and sometimes taking the advice of uh, parents and the way they did things. For instance, they cut the butt off of the and I think we said that the tail off of the ham. And so you bought a Smithfield ham and you cut the tail off because your grandmother did. She said, "Oh, I did because the pan wasn't big enough to hold it." So some of that advice is not good.
Right, it isn't. Trust me. I even told her about it. She said, "I don't remember telling you that." So I said, "Okay." She had selective memory at that time when the marriage was crumbling. I was like, "Uh-huh, okay."
And that's why things like this, programs like this, is so important, so you can talk about this stuff, because a lot of us didn't know some of the things that brought out. When I talk to people now and I heard some of the things they say that we said in Reset, I said, wow, we're right on time. Such a time as this. We're cutting edge, and I didn't realize that, because we're everyday people. It's nothing about us special. We're just everyday people coming here and sharing our truths. And when you say something, you don't know who you're helping. There might be somebody else line that have the same problem you have, but they don't know how to address it. But when you bring your truth out and you say it, and you say how you solved it and what you did to get over it, they say, wow, I can do the same thing. If she can get out of it, I can too. And Glenda's her 18-year journey out of her marriage and her relationship. She put her stuff out there, her mess out there, so you don't have to go through it. You can take and condense her 18 years in your life and in 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, and come out. You have power, you have breadcrumbs now, good breadcrumbs that you can follow to get out of this, get out of some bad relationships. Being in a bad relationship is not a terrible thing, because sometimes people, like Glenda said when she first started this conversation tonight, the discussion, people come in your life for reasons. Some people come in your life to make you stronger, to help you grow. Now, if you're in a bad relationship and you come out of it and you didn't get nothing out of it but a bad relationship, you waste your time. Now, if you came out of a bad relationship and you got some knowledge, some training, some learning, some understanding, some wisdom out of it, then it was worth it. Because in this life, we all gonna have trials and troubles. That's the way that the world is designed. It's how you grow and learn from that. And as long as you don't get stuck on stupid and keep making the same mistakes over and over, it's gonna be fine.
True.
Never have the fear of falling in love and being out there and putting yourself out there and seeing what's out there for you. Because like Glenda said, there's somebody out there for everybody. Your soulmate may be just around the corner.
Yes.
Okay, Glenda, you want to start bringing this in?
Oh, absolutely. As always. All right. So let's see. So in our closing, our last 15 minutes, let's just, do a small recap, just like a just go over a couple of things that you could probably do to assist yourself in this process with, trying to find out why he or she is in your life. Self-reflection, take time to understand why you are in a relationship and what you truly want. Sharon, did you have something you wanted to add?
Oh, no, I was yawning. I thought I was mute. I'm sorry.
That's
It's
good,
okay.
Sharon.
It's okay. I just didn't want, and look, if someone had something else to say, I wanted y'all to get it out before we get to official end. But as I was saying, you want to take time to understand why you are in the relationship and what you truly want. It's not what the other person wants, it's what you truly want. That's more or less what we would call self-reflection. So if you feel like I want to be a wife, I want a healthy and genuine relationship with the opposite sex, hey, you have to proceed that way. Also, talk to trusted friends. Trusted is a key word. Trusted friends. Seek therapy if needed, or join support groups. And this is what you would call, seeking support. If you feel like you at the crossroads and you don't know which way to go, or your friends and family are giving you biased comments and feedback, you may want to step out the box and, seek some professional help. Use your EAP benefits through your health insurance. And either join a support group, because remember, you are not alone. You are not the only one that is experiencing, what you're experiencing. It's always someone really right next to you. You would be shocked of the women and men that are going through the same things that you are. Also, learn to say no. I remember in the first couple of open discussions I can't remember who it was, but I remember taking notes. The lady said she practiced saying no, and I took that and I've been running with it ever since. It's going on a year now. I don't have a problem telling anybody no. So create boundaries and honor your peace and well-being, and that falls under setting boundaries for yourself. You got to remember that you are a priority in this situation. It's not always about the other person. Now, because I said that, I also want to say the reason why I say that is because I'm speaking from an unmarried person perspective, but I know that it's a little bit different when you are married. But if you think about it, if you're tired of the relationship that you're in, and like I said, well, like we've said tonight, if you're feeling stagnated, unappreciative, you still, even if you're married, you can follow these same steps. You got to remember yourself, because you don't want to get lost in someone else and lose your own personal identity. Because if he or she walks out of your life today, tomorrow, or next week, you still have to find a way to move on and live a fulfilling life. And then also we want to talk about engaging activities that build your self-worth and confidence. Go to the gym, do stuff that you always wanted to do, but you never thought you could do. Like I went zip lining. I was invited to go zip lining, and I was like, girl, I never did this before. And what was so funny, it was so exhilarating and fun for me. But she came right behind me to go do the zip line. She was hollering and screaming. And I looked back, I said, you invited me. How you doing more screaming than I am? And it was the most exciting thing. So I had got out of my comfort zone, because a lot of my friends and family was like, Linda, what were you thinking? I was like, I was living. It's living. And that's what you have to do for yourself. You have to live. You have to do things, get involved with things that build your self-confidence and your self-worth, because you are the number one person in your life. Without you, there can't be a relationship. So I want you to keep those few points in mind when you're making decisions of whether you want to stay or whether he or she should be, in your life, or questioning yourself like, why am I still here? And it may be different reasons that we may not have covered tonight. I totally get that, because we haven't dot every I and crossed every T tonight, because there could be something behind the scenes that no one was able to vocalize tonight. But at the same time too, the fact still remains, you are the priority, and your happiness and your peace of mind is so important, because your family cannot function without you, especially if you have children. Mr. Carpenter?
I'm just blown away with the success we've had up to this point because of you being a part of this. Ladies and gentlemen, you have made this thing so fulfilling for me and Glenda that we want to share. We want to give you a look under the hood. You're gonna get a text from me or Glenda. It's gonna be between tonight and tomorrow. And the text is going to give you a look under the hood, what's coming up with Reset Healthier Relationships. I don't know if you guys are aware, but this is Glenda's company. Glenda's company is called Glenda's Get It and Go LLC. And with Glenda's Get It to Go LLC is a full service relationship coaching practice where she has about 15 things she does. And you're just gonna be blown away with what over the next 2 weeks what's gonna come out. But you're gonna get a text, because our first thing we got going on is a cruise, y'all. We're gonna take Reset a Healthy Relationship on high seas. We're gonna record from the high seas from a ship. Can you believe that? We got something in store for you. So once again, you guys are the founding members, and we wouldn't be where we are today without you. So give yourself a hand, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys are so great. And you guys have taken us so far. You know, we've been doing this several months now. And when we first started, it was a few of us, and we haven't really opened it to the public yet. Now, a week from now, it'll be open to the public. Matter of fact, we're gonna be on a TV show. We're gonna be on the Life Vision Network. We're gonna be on a radio show. We're gonna be on Facebook. We're also on YouTube already. We're gonna continue to do it here live every Sunday night at 9. And we're gonna, matter of fact, we've got a thing in June. We're gonna be going to Leesburg, Florida, where we're gonna have our first workshop. There's so much in store for you. There's so much, and it's all because of you. So we wanna thank you. We wanna thank you from the bottom of our heart. Glenda?
All right, do anyone have any other questions, concerns, or feedback tonight on tonight's topic? You want to add anything?
Well, Gigi had put something in the chat and I wasn't able to read the whole thing, but it seems very interesting. Can you look at that and comment on it? Or let us know what the chat said?
You see it, Glenda?
Well, she put a lot in the chat. Are you talking about one thing we have is information in the 70s and 80s? Are you referring to that?
It came off so quick, but I didn't
Okay,
want...
well, I'll read that. Maybe if it's not, I'll keep looking. One thing we have is information. In the 70s and 80s, it wasn't much information out there. That's
the one you talked about?
Maybe.
She's not sure because it went so fast.
So fast, but
What was the gist of it, though, Angela?
I can't remember.
She can't remember, but
It was
I mean,
interesting.
now I had commented on that, but she is correct about the information that we were given back in the day. I know that when I was growing up, nothing like Reset was out. You know, we wasn't even on social media, and the information that was given out, like I said, my grandmother said, go ahead and marry him because no, he's not going to let anybody take care of you or that baby. But that was the worst information she could have ever gave me. But when you look at today, all of the options and all of the avenues and resources that we have today,
in that thing.
it could
Right.
be it should be very hard for us to make some of the same mistakes over and over because we have so many resources already in place about what to avoid, what to look out for, red flags, the 5 love languages.
Where that switch at?
Hey, so somebody
is not on mute.
Somebody's gonna get somebody some whippings. Get your house in order, girl.
I don't know if that's the comment that you were talking about, Angela.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Did you have something that you wanted to add to her comment based
No,
off
you
of what
just-
I read?
No, she's right on.
Right.
That information wasn't readily available, and I think life has happened. I put it this way: life keeps lifing.
Correct.
But in the 70s and the 80s, that's why I'm telling you, these younger people today are not gonna take that. That's not gonna fly.
Right.
The younger
Because you
people
hit me,
today
I'm
have
gonna hit you
canned
back, and I'm going.
Angela, the younger people today have canned a phrase called modern relationships. Modern relationships is where anything goes. Anything you big and bad enough to do goes.
Okay.
So we'll talk. That's a subject we might have to tackle one night. But right in modern relationships now, the rules are thrown out the window. It's what two people feel they can do together. So we'll cover that.
Values are thrown out the window.
I'm not even, I don't think I had gone quite that far, but I was just thinking, as far as tolerating the abuse,
Right.
Right.
I
But
was gonna make a statement. Don't get it twisted. My name is this, my mother's name is that.
yeah, we'll cover that as a separate topic because modern relationships need to be addressed. Because
Yes.
with modern relationships, a lot of people are their dating method, how they're finding their mate, how they're finding a significant other has changed with today. And we'll talk about that. And we'll probably call it your dating method is what we'll call that segment. And we'll cover that as a full segment. All right. And then once again, you'll be getting a text somewhere between tonight and the next day or two that's going to give you a look under the hood. What's in store for you for this upcoming few months? Okay. All right, Glenda. If all minds and hearts are clear.
Yes, we will see y'all next week at 9 o'clock. It was a pleasure seeing you guys as always. I always look forward to seeing you guys at 9 o'clock on Sunday because y'all brighten up my evening and you make my week start off right. But I have nothing else to say. I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody next week. And I do want to say also, Mr. Carpenter, you've been doing an awesome and wonderful job on the back end with all the, all of the upcoming events and all of the graphic designs. I'm very amazed at what you are doing, and I would rather say it publicly than privately because I want everybody to know that your work has not gone unnoticed. I really do appreciate everything that you're doing for Reset and for Coach Glenda. You're an awesome friend and a wonderful course manager.
You said time for a raise?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down. I'm gonna put an extra 0 on that 0.
Wait. Bye, y'all.
That's one for the road.
Jump in here.